What's the question?
Rav, we have regards from Gina and Leon Epstein. They made a chasana on Sunday.
Where? They're in Canada. Where are they?
No, their son got married in Beit Shemesh on Sunday night. Yedidia.
He was married here.
Yeah. So they were here, and I was at the chasana. It was very nice. It was wonderful.
And where does they live?
Well, the son's learning here in the Mir, and they're going to be the son's going to be living here. Their daughter lives here as well.
Just a minute, but Leon, where is where's he?
He's in Thornhill in Canada. In
Canada.
Toronto.
So very nice.
Everybody sends their regards. They find us
Thank you.
Everyone. Yeah.
So the children are religious?
Yeah. Very. It was a
Very.
Haredi wedding. It was a Mamshech Haredi wedding.
Very good. Very good.
Different seating. It was very Haredi. Yeah. Now her son's learning in the Mir. It's wonderful.
This, as I said, my memory is not great. I remember the name Leon Epstein. I think he came from the country, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
No.
But just wonderful. Seeing everybody sends their regards. It's wonderful.
Okay, very good. So
Rav, you heard of Rav? They
Reuven, what have you to say?
signed the ceasefire with Hezbollah.
What?
They've just signed the ceasefire with Hezbollah in Lebanon.
Who knows what this ceasefire? Can you rely on these Arabs with the ceasefire? In the meantime, they only will gather more arms and all kind of things to be able to do another
damage.
Look, I suppose that Israel didn't have any chance but to agree because America pressurized them, and America gives promises about what the promises are. Do you think that American soldiers will come to fight and risk their lives? The terrible thing. Now, listen, we are believers, and we believe that everything is done with God's plan, and we're sure that God has a plan. Not always we understand the plan, but we accept, we believe in Him. So we believe that there is a good reason. Sometimes the reason is a reason to punish us. If we are, excuse me, if we are naughty, thank you. If we are naughty, but we hope that God will look after us, and hopefully there is a lot of promise, a lot of hopes that Trump, if he will do what he said he will do, the question is, can you trust? Al tivtechu b'nedivim. David HaMelech says, don't trust human beings. בבן אדם שאין לו תשועה. A human being is not trustworthy, not always because he doesn't mean to do, but because sometimes there are circumstances that he has not a control. So the only being, if we say that nobody can control him, is God himself. God has the way to control. So what we have to do is only to ask him to look after us. Yeah. So in order that he should look after us, we have also to be right to do what he wants us to do. I mean, this is what we learned. Some of the points we see it more and more in Shlomo HaMelech's words in Mishlei. So we are chapter 10, Mishlei Yud, chapter 10. Verse 11. The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence. A wicked, he may talk. Doesn't mean to say what he says, he actually means. Is, as Rashi says, a righteous person, when he talks, something that you can trust, because he, this is source of life. Because obviously he tells you things which are right, or even if he tells you things that you should do to behave and so on, it means well. However, you cannot trust the mouth of the wicked. He can talk nicely, as Rashi says, he talks, but it might be that something is the opposite is in his heart or in his mind. Yeah. שנאה תעורר מדנים, 12. Hatred arouses quarrels, but love covers all transgressions. People, obviously, that's I don't think that we say hatred obviously causes fights and quarrels, because if people hate each other, then obviously this brings that are fighting with them, the person that you hate, you fight with him, he hates you. So hatred is no good, of course. However, if there is love, love can cover or can cause people to forgive all kind of transgressions and sins. Yeah. I wrote a note that it says people were, if somebody hates somebody, then he keeps his hatred to in his heart, and when there will be when comes an opportunity for him, then obviously he uses this hatred and it causes a quarrel. 13. Wisdom is found in the lips of the understanding, but a rod for the body is one devoid of sense. Talking, of course, but talking about the Navon. Navon is more than a wise person. Navon is somebody that can derive things from what he learns and he can apply with the right thing. So Rashi using it that wisdom is found in the lips of the understanding. That means that if you even reprove somebody for doing something wrong, the wise person will accept it and he will admit and confess, I have sinned. Rashi is referring to David, King David, when he was, when Nathan the prophet gave him Musar, when he reprimanded him, he accepted. He said, I've sinned. But somebody that devoid of sense, this is the one that hasn't got seichel, or has got minimal wisdom. What is what is his response or reaction when he's being reproved? He, of course, denies it and he doesn't listen. And it will cause, when he will, that your words is not going to be enough until he is see the road, until the road is applied to him. The words, he doesn't make any impression on him. And Rashi brings an example with Pharaoh when Moshe Rabbeinu was talking to Pharaoh to let the people go. he didn't tell until when he got all the makes, all the when it was inflicted on him, until he had to let the people go. And he had some sense. Obviously, he didn't have to wait until it'll be inflicted. He will let them go. But because he's chasar lev, because he's devoid of sense, so the only thing what he understands, the language he understands, is the road. So this is an example to what Shlomo Melech, so somebody that is wise, it's enough you talk to him and reproves him. סליחה, אבישי, אני באמצע זום, אני אחזור אליך. So, you know that also in education, if you've got a pupil, a student, or a child that has got sense, so if you tell him, he will listen, but if he devoid, like he says, of sense, you'll have to be punished.
Rav, can I challenge that a little bit?
What?
Modern education does not believe in beating. Corporal punishment in modern education has been banned. Now, is Solomon promoting
Wait. I see that
punishment by
I have to bring my. I always forget to bring my hearing
Hearing aid.
Well,
Right.
1 second.
You wait.
1 second. Sorry.
And I shall drive back.
I still didn't get used to the fact that I need to have a hearing aid, and so therefore I forget to charge. This is actually I did charge, but I forgot to put it in. Okay, sorry, Reuven, can you repeat?
No, I'm just want to have a discussion with regard to what Shlomo Melech has said here. Because modern education does not accept corporal punishment. And is Shlomo Melech promoting corporal punishment? The second thing we know, the Hasidim say you can learn from anybody. You can learn from a beggar in the street, can give you wisdom. Now, that seems to contradict what Shlomo Melech is actually saying here. Shlomo Melech is saying that only the intelligent, which cuts out 3/4 of the population, has wisdom, whereas a beggar in the street might have wisdom, which we can learn from, but we don't know about his intelligence. The second thing, as I said, he is promoting corporal punishment, which today is not allowed in any form of education.
This is why today the education is in the red.
Well, I don't know, Harav. You know, it's been
There
proven
is
that corporal punishment.
חוסך שבטו שונא בנו. שלמה המלך said, חוסך שבטו שונא בנו. If you
Spare the rod.
save
Spare the rod and spoil the
the
child.
road. Yeah, you know better than I. The road. So we see, obviously, yeah, it has to be used with wisdom, and you try first of all whatever you can to explain and do things, but even out of love, sometimes you need to have the road.
But
And
you
what
live
you said
in
from the poor person, yes, obviously, but you have to learn from the poor person. You have to have the wisdom to learn, to derive, to imply. But if a person hasn't got the heart devoid of sense, he doesn't learn anything, he doesn't listen. So at the end of the day, the only thing what he understands the road.
Harav, I'm sorry if I'm pushing the point, but you know that studies in education have shown that the most terrible abuse took place as a result of people, teachers at the time, beating children who were dyslexic. Now, they didn't understand that the children were dyslexic. They thought they were being naughty, and they beat them and caused terrible punishments to them. So this is not a simple thing that say, oh, because the child doesn't listen, I'm going to beat him, and that's the end of it. I think that's a very complicated issue, particularly in modern day education, and that we can
I
learn
think
from.
that I think you're missing the point. You are taking maybe an extreme way of roads. This is not what Shlomo Melech said. Shlomo Melech said that sometimes you can try whatever you can, but sometimes you must use the road. And if you don't use the road, then you see sometimes what the fruits are. So you are right, but saying that today you are not allowed to punish, you are not allowed. What are we, let us say, in this modern education, is that the world became a better world because of people not using punishment. Children are growing wild. Is it better? Obviously, you
Maybe.
try. That's not the first thing you do. You try to explain, to educate, etc. But at the end of the day, you cannot avoid that sometimes it's important to use the road. This is what Shlomo Melech is talking.
How do you translate the word chasir leiv?
Chasar lev,
Mm.
that the person is devoid of sense, means that you try to talk to him, to try to explain to him, but he doesn't accept. It's like he hasn't got a heart to, or a sense. He's without a sense, and he doesn't take any notice. So what must he do? The only time that he understands, you give him a clap. That's what it is.
Excuse me, please can I interrupt? Can you
Yeah,
hear me, Arav? I
sure.
don't think that you have to take the rod to mean an actual makel. I
Nachon.
think it means punishment, bichlal.
Nachon.
General
100%.
punishment, not an actual. You don't have to actually hit him. You have to
Absolutely.
get through to him some way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the road to a physical road. It means
Yeah, I
to
think
take
that's important.
to punish you. And today you are not allowed to punish. You are have to always just to be good and so on. It's fine. You try, but sometimes you cannot avoid using something stronger to punish. If the person, if the child, no, not only a child, it can mean an adult. Uh, why do you have the whole thing that you have, you have to use sometimes to use people to put them in prison and so on. So on. You try to make them to understand. They don't understand, and they become wicked people. That's what it means.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I know a family that their son unfortunately was hit by in Cheder by the rob. And
Sorry, what you said, I didn't get it.
I know a family here in Eretz Israel where their son was in a way hit or beaten by the Cheder Rebbe, and today he's not from anymore. It caused such a negativity. He was a little boy, and unfortunately the Cheder Rebbe gave him he smacked him a few times, and it had such a negative impact on this boy that today he's not from. So there are quite a few stories like that as well. It's a fine balance.
I don't understand. You advocate.
No. I don't advocate, but there's a fine balance. I think
Of course, a balance.
It's got repercussions as well.
I said, obviously, it is balanced. It is used in a way that you use sense when to apply it. But unfortunately, modern kind of education, you are not allowed to punish. And what do we get better food? No. I think that we understand talking the same thing. I'm not saying, yes, straight away go take the road and so on, or punish. Obviously, you try. But sometimes you need to apply something. Otherwise, if you just let it go, everything must, okay, it's fine. It's not fine. I mean, we see for the Torah, the whole thing, God speaks to us. He says, talking to us, to love us, etc., etc., etc. And what happened? Sometimes the Torah himself says, God punishes us if we don't listen. There isn't that. Now the question is, when it happened, we have to understand the punishment also in education, even or a parent, if he punishes the child or the pupil, of course, it has to be done with love, not with hatred, and this only comes when you see that whatever you tried, it doesn't work. Okay. Let's go further. 14. Chachamim itzponu dat. Wise men store up knowledge, but the mouth of a fool causes destruction to come near. So a wise person, using his logic, when he learns or even he been taught, when he's been reproved, he stores up and tries to keep what is right, to keep it for a long time, not to forget it. There is another explanation that a wise man is not like a show-off of his wisdom. He doesn't publicize his knowledge, keeps him to himself until and when it is necessary to use and to share. But the mouth of the fool, he speaks without any control, which can cause even destruction when it's publicized. So we see that the Shlomo Melech, he puts kind of contrast between the wise and the unwise, or between the knowledgeable on the other person that doesn't have. So he tells us the two extremes in order to understand. We spoke about it many times. The Jewish way is not to use extremes. They have to be balanced. Excuse me. Let's continue. The wealth of the rich is a city of his strength. The destruction of the poor is their poverty. Okay? Now, another contrast. So the plain understanding when he speaks about the wealth, which means richness. If a person is rich, he got a lot of money, he feels very, very strong because of it. However, the poor, the destruction of the poor is their poverty. You know, the person is poor. So if we see in life, a person is rich, he's got strength, he's got what to using his power in contrast to the poor. But Rashi actually takes it a little bit in a higher way, not talking about material wealth and poverty, but talking about if a person rich is wealthy in Torah. So it gives him a strong, this is his strength. On the contrary to the one, the poor, they did not engage in the Torah. So this leads to his destruction. What did I write here? 15. What a note from another commentary that even talking about in the simple richness, that the rich man feels strong and secure because of money, because his wealth, and the poor is scared, is a never because of his poverty. But the one comment Rabbeinu Yonah says both of them are mistaken because the wealthy person, he should understand to use his wealth to right purpose, not to just collect wealth, to use it for spiritual things, to, as he writes it, to respect Hashem. He should said the wealth should not use him to feel that he is that to rely on his wealth. He should rather rely on Hashem and do whatever with the wealth that Hashem like him to do. 16, the act of the righteous is for life. But what the wicked bring in is for sin. Right? Again, we say the whole time he works in opposites. Rashi makes it also to try to say that Shlomo Melech, King Solomon, he used the wells to construct the temple, which for life of Israel. Although that doesn't say anything here about the temple, but the only thing is what comes from the Midrash that King Solomon and King David, whatever they did was to build life for Israel. But the wicked, the contrast is Menashe was a wicked king. He was a king of Israel, a wicked. So this brought brings in a disaster, the destruction. It brought a destruction because he was a wicked king. So he used his kingdom or his power in the wrong way that brought to destruction. 17, the way to life is of one keeps discipline, but he who forsakes reproof misleads. So a person that he listens for reproof, this is the way of life that he can improve himself. However, that the person that he forsakes reproof misleads himself and others, as Rashi says. So one commentator adds that one who reproves him, those who reprove him, the person that he עוזב תוך, the one that doesn't like to listen to be reproved, so what is going to be? People will stop trying to show him, and this means that he misleads himself, that he can't come right because he doesn't want to listen to any reproof. So this will mislead him because there is no way I will be able to be on the right way. 18, he who covers up hatred has false lips. ומוציא דיבה, and he spreads slander is a fool. So if somebody flatters, he tries to, actually he hates somebody, but he tries to be nice and to not to show that he, in fact, in his heart, he's hating. So this is the first part of the verse. מכסה שנאה. Then he covers the hatred. How does he do it? With false lips. He talks as if he's the best friend and so on. On the other hand, you must not try to מוציא דיבה, like talk and even if you, let's say if you, even you've got a good intention, but if you talk and tell some tales to other people like Loshonore, this is a fool, because this is not the way to be helpful. You have to use your words, obviously, not to flatter if you hate the person, but on the other hand, doesn't mean to say that you have to just try and expose somebody else. You have to use a balance, as all times Shlomo Melech is talking, that a balance. That a multitude of words, transgression will not be avoided. This is, we're talking about Rov Dvarim. Talk to, the next, the 19. I'm sorry, there is something about the verse we just spoke about. Somebody that slander is a fool. We said that if a person, that's what he does, he speaks and finds fault with other people, with his friend, he's a fool because could be very well this is his own blemish that he tries to find in his friend. Verse 19, in a multitude of words, transgression will not be avoided. And he who holds back his lips is a wise. So, coming to the almost what you say now, you must use your words in the right place, in the right time, and to be trust, to be a truthful person rather than just talk and which doesn't really help. Let's see another one. 20. The tongue of the righteous is choice silver. The heart of the wicked is worth a little. All things which we understand how to use the words which I said. Use your words well, choose your words, and watch your words as silver. Don't just talk nonsense. And the commentaries bring some examples from Tanakh that you know, if a person does not listen to if a tzaddik, a righteous person, tries to guide him and reproves him, so then it is it causes trouble for the person himself. It's all obvious words. It's only put into kind of expressions. What's the time now? Let's see another 20. The lips of the righteous will feed many, but the fools will die for lack of sense. Okay, that's the same idea. The person that knows how to reprove, he can help others to guide them. So this is the lips of the righteous. But the person who lack of sense, the fools, he will die if he doesn't heed his teaching. He will die because of lack of sense. He doesn't test his words. It causes to himself a problem. Another Ibn Ezra says, the fools will die because of the one who lacks sense, whereas the majority will heed the righteous man. The fools will instead heed the one who has no sense and mislead them. the popular, he can be a popular person that he managed to get the majority, so to speak. But if he's a fool, no, he's a lack of sense, then of course it can be dangerous. He will mislead people that can cause them to die. Okay, I think we'll finish here tonight.
Right.
And please God will continue next week in 21, verse 21.
Thanks, Rav.
Okay,
Thank you, Rav.
Yeah, Rav.
Thank you,
Thank
Rav.
you. Have a good week.
have a
Thank
nice
you.
rest of the
Good
week.
night.
We should only beg Hashem to look after us. I listen to the news. It's terrible. Every news tell us another soldier, another soldier.
Terrible.
Hashem should have mercy on us.
Amen.
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 Okay. So have a good night and a good week.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rav.
You too.
Thank
Any
you.
good
Good
news?
night.
Shabbat tov,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone. Take
Bye.
care.
לכבוד already half a week. שבוע חצי טוב.
You're
טוב
חצי
חצי
שבוע?
שבוע.
לא,
טוב
חצי
חצי
שבוע
שבוע.
יותר טוב.
Mitzvot Hashem.
אוקיי, ביי.
Bye.
נו. How do you get out of here?